questions.
I did have one for you guys, and it was about like the red pill rhetoric a little bit. And I thought, do you think maybe this rhetoric may encourage a society that lies? So, for example, like ideologies and reality, and them not aligning. Do you feel like people are not going to be as honest in the dating
Where would
world?
people be motivated to lie?
Yeah.
Clarify that part.
For example, like the body count thing, or we kind of like say, oh, you know, we can be born again virgins or something like that, and we justify that. So it's like, aren't we just kind of creating false ideologies that we kind of embed with ourselves?
There's like 3 questions there, so I'm.
All right, we'll break it down however you want.
What you related it to red pill, but I'm failing to.
What she's basically saying is all of the red pill rhetoric is raising awareness around the subject of body count, which could then motivate women to lie about body count and encourage a culture of lying. And I would say,
age old.
yes, it's possible that could happen. However, I think both men and women becoming aware of this thing and having sometimes unhealthy, also sometimes healthy dialogue about it is a good thing for society, because it's making men aware of the dangers associated with it. It's also making women aware of how much men care about it. I think because many women are becoming aware of how much men care about it, there's a natural incentive there for women to avoid racking up a high body count, right? Because if they know subconsciously, oh, this is a standard that men have, and I'm either going to have to lie, which would suck, or I'm going to have to keep my body count down in order to find the kind of guy that I truly want. That's a natural motivation for them to not engage in promiscuity. Okay. I think that's a good thing. Yeah. Could it also encourage a culture of lying? Absolutely. Are a bunch of women going to lie about it because men now care about this?
Men as
Absolutely.
well. And men as well, I think.
Okay.
So in that case, what would you recommend to the viewers, like when they're dating, how can they mitigate these risks of lying?
Okay.
Yeah, like how can you just maybe open
Well,
up a
you
conversation
Get a
that's
good
bit more
Christian
soft?
girl.
Yeah,
That's
get a really good Christian girl who authentically believes in these values.
Yeah.
I would also say too, like, there's not really anything that you're going to be able to do about whether or not somebody's going to lie.
Yeah.
You know. Now, with that said,
Use
over
your gut.
time, as the relationship develops, like, the truth will probably come out. You know, you may notice discrepancies in what the person is saying, and then that might breed a really unhealthy dynamic down the line, because if one person finds out that the other person was lying to them, if there's like a long span of time over which this happens, and then let's say 2 years into the relationship you find out that the person has been lying to you, that's the kind of thing that could destroy a relationship.
Yeah, awesome.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Last 2 questions, then we have to wrap up here. So we've been talking about body count quite a bit. So just show of hands, who thinks body count matters? Who thinks body count doesn't matter or shouldn't matter?
I've seen some good points, but
I'm just like right in between. Like there's like a there's like a point. Sorry, there's like a point where like okay that's like a lot. That's like a lot. But then like if it's like I don't really care if it's not like too much.
Gotcha. So I'll just really quick. I guess yes or no. Does body count matter? How about, let me rephrase it. Do you object to men caring about body count? Do you think it's kind of immature, or maybe they get over it?
I mean, every time some guy has told me, I've always been like, I don't know, like that's, like, because I've always, like, when we say, like, oh, what do you have questions for me, you know, like, just try and get to know someone, and that's, like, the first question, because I've had some guys, like, that's, like, the first question, and I just be like,
Rubs you the wrong way?
red flag.
yeah, it's just like, oh, I don't know.
Sure. Do you object to men not caring about body count?
If you're starting like a relationship and whatever, they can have their own personal preferences. I mean, I don't really care.
Do you think it's justified for men to care if they want to?
Yeah, I guess.
I think it depends, I guess, now. So if he was going to sit down and have a conversation with me, like you were saying, and he's trying to really get to know me for certain reasons, and it's not just to make a quick, hasty judgment, then I'd be way more open to it. Otherwise, I think I would just kind of be like, okay.
You'd be turned off if he asked right off the bat.
Yeah, because it's like, why does it matter?
Okay.
But if it went
I think
deeper?
it depends on the length of the relationship and where you're standing. If it's like a decision maker on whether you're going to stay committed to this person or move forward into the next level, I think it at that point it warrants a conversation for both sexes.
Annie, what about you?
Yeah, I think that I appreciate the fact that you guys are trying to show care, but I just still want to ask where the redemption is for the ones that have had higher body counts.
Oh,
They
Okay,
can
so-
they can they can be
Redemption's
redeemed,
there,
but
baby.
it's a different.
But I'm just saying, like, I don't want to argue with you guys because I don't want to change your opinion. I just want you to just have empathy and love for
Annie,
someone
let
that
me
if
ask,
if
let me
you
ask
met,
you a question,
maybe
Annie.
there's someone in
Annie,
your life
let me,
you haven't
let me
met
ask
yet.
you a question. Do you think it's fair for a woman to care about a man's body count?
I wouldn't care,
Okay, but do you
I
think
never
it's-
asked my
you-
husband.
those are your personal preferences. Do you think it's
but he told me
do
anyway.
you, do you think it's fair for other women to care about it?
That's up to them.
Do you
But
think
I
it would
myself,
be fair if they did?
I think everyone should
Make
really
out.
just forgive each other. Honestly.
Wait, what?
I agree.
And listen, here's the whole thing. If you are going to be in a relationship and you both are focusing on talking about being serious because now it's got to that point, if you want to talk about it, I think it's okay as long as you're willing to, hey, I'm about to tell you something and I want to tell you something. And I had to tell my husband something, you guys. This is why this matters to me too. Right before we got married, I had to tell my husband something and I was so afraid to tell him. Scared to death, you guys. I had the wedding dress ready and everything. And when I told him, he was like, doesn't matter to me. And I was
Okay.
like, are you kidding me? He goes, no.
Just for the
let's
I love
let's
you.
stick
For
to
the
the
sake of
scope of the
moving this
conversation.
along.
Yeah.
Okay, so you object to men caring about body count.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So I've only dated one guy, and he didn't ask my body count, but he said, when I told him who I was, he said, he wasn't concerned
Just-
that I was a prostitute. He was
just-
concerned that I was a
This
celebrity.
could be a yes
Do
or
you-
no.
And
do you
and
object-
also-
do you
but
object to men caring?
His concern.
Hold on,
wait,
save
let me
the
tell- Let me
story.
tell you, his concern was that I had had sex with a lot of people, and that I would judge him that he would not be as good as the other people that I had sex with.
Okay. Roger that, but do you object to a man caring about it?
I never
Or
gave it
men in
any. I
general.
never gave it any thought. It doesn't matter.
Roger that. What
Okay.
about you?
I'll be quick, but I think it matters not so much for the man's perspective, but for like as an individual being accountable for what you've done and being okay with it. And if you're not okay with it, then that's where the issue I like.
But
But-
do you or do you not object
No.
to a man? No.
No.
Okay. Okay.
It's not.
No.
Okay.
Okay, Amy doesn't object. Okay, so most of you said
Nice and sweet.
you do object or, whatever. So, and I think some of you said body count doesn't matter, shouldn't matter. So, if body count doesn't matter, what is your body count?
I don't know. I never really thought about
I'm
it.
gonna guess.
What do you mean you never really thought about it?
Like,
Just it's a number, like it's kind of like one of these. Can you scoot the mic closer towards you? Like so it's
yeah. I think 5 or 6.
okay.
Not
Sure.
too shabby.
Yeah, I think so.
Caitlin?
I think like 9.
Okay. Sure.
I think like 12.
Sure.
I had 4 prior to work, and I think I'm probably right now at like 15.
Okay.
Are we talking relationships or
Well, that's why I
work?
Both.
Work.
Maybe
I combined them.
you could tell us the relationship one and the other one work one. Oh, you have a couple
So-
work ones too?
Oh.
Oh, okay.
You want me to be
my bad.
quiet?
Oh no, you were whispering. I
Okay.
thought you were talking about something about work. Okay.
I wrote down the people that I slept with that
Sure.
I thought I was gonna have a relationship with, even prior to being in the sex industry, and it was about 100. You guys are like, whoa.
Prior to being in the
And I was
okay,
I was
100.
about, yeah.
Wait, so prior to doing sex work, people that you were pursuing
And, and it was
romantically-
during sex work as well.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. So until I got married, 100, about 100.
Oh, so including work,
Yeah.
about
No,
100.
not including work.
Oh, wait.
When I was having forced sex, I'm just saying this. Okay, forced sleeping with people. It was not a choice because I,
don't
was
think you
with
should
2
count
men.
that.
Yeah,
Let's-
I shouldn't. It's about 20 or
Yeah,
30,000.
I think
And that was forced.
damn.
Wait, hold on just a sec. 20 to 30.
10, 15 a night.
30.
Going on calls.
Damn, that's wild.
10, 15 a night going on a call.
Damn.
So you
Not
when
taking
you-
a day off.
Okay.
When
I
you
can
say-
see, I see what you're.
Okay, so that's work.
So about 100 without work.
You had a pimp?
I had
or-
two different ones, 5 years each time.
Okay. Got it.
And
Okay.
they were very violent too, by the way.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
So not including work, you said 100.
Yeah, including the time I was working. So, in other words, during the
When she was
relationships
willing.
when I was with the relationships with the pimp, sometimes I would meet nice guys on the side, and he was already cheating on me, I thought, with other girls because I had wife-in-laws. So I felt justified when I met a nice guy that just wanted to hang out with me and just cuddle me and have sex with me. I slept with him. It's just trauma.
So sorry.
Well, she found her man.
I did.
And you,
I win.
and you got
I
saved
win.
from
It's
that.
right here.
You got saved from
And she
that
got
by
saved.
Jesus.
You get to win too.
Air Force Amy, what about you?
At this point, only God knows, and
I love
I
you,
hope it's a
Amy.
lot more. You know where to see me. Bunny Ranch.
What about? Okay, so there's men for work, and then there's men for.
I've never.
She's
seen
only
one.
had one relationship.
I've only had one relationship.
Well, I mean, but even but people like
No,
hook
it-
up, one night stands.
No, that's it. When that guy got everything, like my first kiss, he got my first without a condom, he got my first everything. So I feel like stained now. Now I feel stained and ruined for marriage because he got my first kiss, all that first stuff.
Oh, okay. I
loved
can
him.
get
You
that
loved him.
And I
perspective
loved
too.
him. I
Wow.
loved
Okay.
him.
Including work, how much?
Like I said, only God knows that one, honey.
How
I
how
have no
how,
idea.
how old were you when you had that relationship?
It was like a year ago,
It
a
was
year and a half
pretty
ago.
Over under 1,000?
Over
Over 1,000? 10,000? More than 10,000?
20 years.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who
God
knows?
knows. I mean, I'm not going to try and count it.
Sure. Trindalina, what about you?
I only share that with my partner.
I thought it doesn't matter. Hold up.
No, I said it does.
Oh, you
matter.
said it does.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
okay.
keep it between
All right,
each other. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
there you have it, folks. Okay, very last thing here. Very last question. Let's see. Oh, wait. Actually, I forgot one thing. Hold on. As far as the body count goes.
Multiply it by 3, and that's the real number.